So here we are, guys. We're all set up for a US Open 9-ball match between Albinario of Sweden, although his profile isn't working again. And I'm not even sure where Polo's from. Anyway, this is non-handicap, this tournament. And we'll go and have a quick look at the bracket while Albinario breaks off. And he's come up dry, I think. Well, this is a match that we are going to be watching here. So this is a round 2 match. And the winner of this match will obviously go through to round 3. And they'll be waiting to play the winner of that match between Mal and Hustling Howie. And if it goes according to the rating, Mal would come through in that match, and that'll be a good match to look forward to. Any winner of this pair here will have a good match in this tie. If it goes the way it should do in paper, it'll be a good match. But anyway, this match here, now what I'm going to do is going to go back to the event. I'm going to type in Polo. Someone said Poland he's from. I wasn't sure, but we'll find out. There we go. Yeah, he definitely is. And that's the room that he's in right now. So we'll get back to the match. And Polo, I don't think he honestly plays an awful lot of 9-ball online, but he's got a damn good rating, because I very rarely see him. He might be on at times that I'm not here, but he's a well more than capable player. But I say, if he doesn't play an awful lot, he's going to take a little while to warm up and get his angles. Albinario, if you've seen him before, you know he's an old time. Well, so is Polo. Polo's been around for years as well in Virtual Pool 3. But Polo's just turned up out of the blue a minute before the match started, and Albinario has been in the lobby, but I didn't see him doing any warming up. So I think for the first few racks here, the players will be warming up before we get into the match. Now, well, you certainly don't think he can see that direct to pot it, can he? Yeah, maybe he can. Yep, just squeeze through. So Polo is going to be off the mark. And remember, it's winner breaks. And in goes the 5-ball. And he's also got a shot in the 1. The only problem is cue ball's heading well away from that 2-ball, which is up in the top rail there. So, and he can't get to the bottom of the cue ball either. So he's really going to have to either look for a safety after this, or try and do something impossible with the cue ball. Well, he tried to cut into the middle to get a shot on the 2, which he actually did, but it was asking a bit too much. Well, likewise here with Albinario, that 1-ball isn't going past the 8, so should be looking at playing some sort of safety here. Maybe try to tuck the cue ball up behind a 9 and a 7. I don't even think he can do that because the 3-ball's in the way, and that's a weak safety. Again, it's difficult here to even get down for that 2, which is why Polo decided just to play the safe. There's no point, because no way you can get the cue ball out of there down for the 2. And this time Albinario tries the kick shot, and now Polo's got a chance. and the way it's looking, he could come over towards that 9 ball on the top right there. Depends how much spin he gets on this. Well, he's gone off the 2 rails, leaving him very high in the 2. And I don't know whether he can avoid the 4. Maybe he can just squeeze past it. Yeah, but he's not got the shot. Left the 2 on. Let's have a quick look. Well, again, it's deep in the pocket here, so it's still difficult to get the control of the cue ball. I think he's going to spin into the 8. Nope. Right, so we can see where the problem ball is. It's a 7 ball. And let's have a quick look at that. Well, that's very tight. I think you'd have to try and cheat it off the rail a wee bit even to get it near the pocket. I'll be trying to just roll this cue ball as close to the rail as he can. I think he's having a look at the shot in the 7. It might go in, but it's got to be a really delicate shot. He'll be on the 8 ball though, but it's really touch and go whether it will go past that 9. Well, Albie didn't think so and tried to force an angle out of that shot when there wasn't really any angle there. And now Polo's going to try and sneak behind the 9. This will need to be really delicate to make that space without nudging the 9. Well, he's went for the combo. No luck. And now that's forced Polo into one option here, the bank on the 7 onto the 9. And where's the cue ball going though? Ah, that's a fatal error. He should have seen that coming. And he wasn't thinking. And that's a gift for Albinario to get off the mark. Well, this is again a bit straight, but Albie will probably just draw back on it, I think, up to about the middle pocket if he can. That'd be the ideal position. He's a wee bit short of that, but he should be okay. So we're all square at 1 rack all. Albinario to break. Is that 2 ball going to cover the path of the 1? I think it maybe just has. Well, again, that wasn't a very good safety. And Polo looking to find his touch with the speed of the table. Now, well, I suppose you could do lots of things with the cue ball here. Ideally, you could just come round the corner and out for the 3 ball into the middle. Well, he just squeezed through there, and again, not the best positional shot. He just barely made it beyond that 5 ball. He's got lucky there. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think Polo can just see an edge of the 3, and Albinario will probably end up back behind the 5 and the 9 here. Well, how will that look? Well, he's got the cover. I wonder if Albinario is going to try a distance jump shot, or is he just going to try and kick it off the rail? Well, looks as if he's got the jump stick out, and he's played that well, and he's got a nice kiss in the 7, giving himself a good angle on the 4. He can just draw back for the 9 into the top left as we look. And I think he just overcooked that a bit as well. Both players struggling to find their feet. And in goes the 5, and again he's overhit that. And now probably just going to play the bank. Well, is he going to play the combo on the 8? I'd be playing the bank. Chances are if you fail in the first cross, you may well use that 7 ball to nudge the 6 into the middle on the second crossover in the bank. But anyway, he never got it, and provided Polo can get this cue ball up and down the table, I don't know whether he can actually hold it there, playing it dead weight for that 7 into the left middle. But again, he's underhit it this time. It's not going to get there. Let's have a quick look at that one. What does that angle look like? Well, again, he could be playing the billiard here, a sort of 2-in-1 shot, billiard come bank shot on the 7. Well, he's played the bank, and in goes the 7. And this is a reasonable enough cut. The 8 ball's off the rail, and the cue ball's got to be on the 9. So, at the end of rack 3, Polo goes into the lead by 2 racks to 1. 5 ball certainly went in the top right. Again, he's got no luck. He's got no shot in the next ball. So, nothing to do but probably look for a safe. Is he thinking of cutting that one into the middle? No. Played the safe. Again, with this shot, he might just look to send this onto this bottom rail here. Well, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he played that. But again, he's left a bank. But of course, the problem is having any type of shot on that 2 ball. Well, the way the cue ball's sitting now, this is an odds-on certainty he's going to get this bank in the 2. If he fails in the first pass, he should get it in the second, but he's misjudged that. But I think he's going to get second prize. He certainly has. And Albinario looking to just chip this off the end rail. A little bit of right English. He could actually probably go both ways here. Past the 3 ball. Needs to get lucky though. Well, he's playing a roll up just to lie on it, but he's skimmed across the side of it, so he's left an easy starter for Polo. Now you can just draw out past the 7 ball. He might be the wrong side of that 3, but I don't see any problems. You just put a good bit of left-hand English, right-hand English, and just check the cue ball across, and that's probably as good as he could get there. But again, perfect angle, just drop the 4 in, cue ball's naturally going to go up the table. Well, now he's in prime position. He can just stun the 6 in if he wants. We need to get a wee bit more in it, I think. Well, he's okay. And then just drop the 7 in. And as long as he leaves an angle, so if he gets the cue ball to the side rail a bit or comes out far enough, he's got a nice angle. Well, he's finished straight. These are always going to cause you problems. And you can only go forward or back. So he's went forward with a bit of right spin. And now he's sitting perfect. Just drop that 9 in. So we've now got a 2 rack gap. And Polo, well, the break's certainly working for him there. Look at that 2 ball sitting there. The only problems, the 6 and the 7 are not quite glued to the rail, but it's going to give him some work to do, especially to get this 2 and get onto that 4, because the cue ball's close to the rail. Now, is he going to try and maybe just leave this? No, he played that well. I was thinking he might try to leave it for the 4-9 combo. But he's doing the right thing. Now, don't do anything silly and drop behind the 7. And again, he doesn't need to worry if the cue ball's stuck to the rail, because the 8 ball's over the pocket, but the problem he does have is that he needs to get momentum in the cue ball to get back up for the 9. So he wants to get his cue ball out from that rail. And you have to force this a wee bit. Well, it ended up being too straight, and of course the natural path of the cue ball was it was going to follow through, so that's an unexpected turnaround there for Albinario. I think he'd given up in this rack, but that's 1 against ahead there. Albinario reduces the deficit, and he trails by 2 racks to 3, but with the break. Now 3 or 4 balls written in there, but I definitely know one of them was the cue ball. So again, just struggling to get a hold of that cue ball in the break-off shots. But Polo's now sitting here with a 1-9 combo that looks pretty well. He got that all wrong. Again, the distance between the 2 was the problem. And this cue ball has to avoid the 9 ball if he's going to have any chance of getting on the 2. And it's going to be, well, that's probably why he made that decision. It's difficult to tell unless I'm following behind the player to see where they're aiming to find out what they're doing. But certainly it looked to me that he was looking at the cut in the 1, but the problem being that the cue ball was going to be going into the 9. Probably behind it off the end rail, and no way he could get on the 2 doing that. So that's where common sense and thinking comes into it. Why do that and take the risk when it's a lot better to try and tie your opponent up? And Polo got the jump there, but he's left the 1 on. And now we can just drop the 2 in, and he'll still be on the 3 cue balls. He'll come off the rail, but he'll still have a decent cut in the 3, no problem. Now, does he draw back off the rail with a little bit of bottoming right, or is he going to follow through? Well, has he got the pace right this time? Well, that's not bad. Can maybe just I don't know whether he can draw off the bottom rail and onto the side rail, or whether he can draw straight across. Looking at that, well, that's okay. Now you can get out behind the 8. And now we're back all square again, 3 racks all. In goes the 5 ball in the middle, right middle pocket. 7 ball goes into the bottom right. I think the 1 ball's gone as well. And Albinario is finished smack bang on the 2 for a 2-6 combo. Well, that was a bit fortunate. Didn't really have much idea where the 2 ball was going, hitting it at that pace. But he's finished on it. And this is not easy, this 3 ball. And considering where the 4 ball's sitting and the cue ball stuck to the rail, this is going to be very difficult to get a shot, but he's going to probably try and come across off the right rail over to the left to leave this 4 ball into the bottom right. Well, he's played the combo. Excellent. Now, again, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He certainly missed the ball he was going for, but he got the combo on the 9, and he's not making his apologies, so clearly he played the shot. I'll need to ask him later. But what it does mean is Albinario has gone into the lead, and he's got a ball in the break, and he's sitting on the 1 ball, and all these balls are lined up down the middle of the table, and you've really got to expect him to run this rack out. And that, although he's a bit high on the 2, it's actually a good angle to get up here for the 3. All about pace. Oh, well, again that little high angle proving a bit more difficult to read, and I'll be sent it over the pocket. Now this isn't easy. Okay, the ball's hanging over the pocket, but it's not easy to control the cue ball, as you can see. And Polo straight off the corner and scratches into the middle, and immediately Albinario is back at the table again, and that's twice already Albi's back at the table, when really he's gone away thinking, well, let's go on with the next rack, because he's thinking it's all over. And Polo doesn't want to be making too many mistakes, because Albinario's only going to warm up. I don't think he's going to get any worse. He's just going to get better once he gets settled in. Now, how does that look for angle? Well, that is perfect. Little stun across, and he's on the 8, where he could roll through onto the end rail and back out, as long as he doesn't do it too soft and hook himself. But he's got the stun well controlled and just dropped the 8 in. So it's Albinario now that opens up a 2-rack lead. He's leading by 5 racks to 3, and he's breaking off in rack number 9. Again, cue ball, well, it's been kicked in this time, but the cue ball really shouldn't be up at this end of the table. It really needs to be raising the butt of that cue a bit more to get some stop in the cue ball when he's breaking. And the cue ball ends up running back up the table. There's always a likelihood it's going to scratch. So control has been handed over to Polo. Now you've really got to say now that when incidents like that happen, the incoming player has got to run the table when the balls are sitting open. And it's only going to be unforced errors, obviously, that's going to put a stop to that. Well, that could have went wrong. I don't think he needed to draw that all the way around the corner to get on the 6. Again, remember what I said, don't let the cue ball start rolling around the table when you don't really need to, because that cue ball can finish up in all the awkward places. So, Polo gets one back. Oh, the ball! I think this table must be tilted. Need to get these feet checked because the balls are all rolling over to the right hand side. And Albi with no shot after that. No balls in the break, and all he has is a push out. Now, certainly, he's got to do something whereby he's not leaving Polo an easy safety. Well, he's managed to kick it away, but now can Albi see the potting angle of that? I don't think so this time. I'm gonna stick my neck out and say he can't unless he puts a bit of spin on it. Well, he's went for the bank. And now Polo can just roll the cue ball onto the 1 really and drop it in and finish it on the 2 in the middle. And he should be home and dry in this rack. Now this is a crucial shot, getting from the 4 onto the 5, because the 5's not going to pass the 7, so he's got to get behind it. It needs to keep going, it needs to keep running. I think he's okay. And he can just drop across onto the bottom rail here for the 6. And whatever you do, don't leave yourself straight on this 7 ball. Try and get off the rail or onto the rail, but not dead straight. Now that is okay. That's exactly what he wants. Got that little angle to get the cue ball out, and likewise with this 8 ball he's got a little angle, so he can just roll through and bounce back off the rail. He doesn't need to run around the table. So now we are all square again. We're at 5 racks all. And remember, it's not the best of 21 racks, it's the first to 21 racks. So there's a potential here for 41 racks of 9-ball to get played. And this is our, well, this is what you could call our first major tournament that we've had in VP4. Eventually, well, it's underway and it's up and running. We've had a couple of glitches already, but we're still going, and we're still a long way to go. And Albinario misses a kick. He's handed over control to Polo, and once again you've got to expect him to run out. Now even that shot there, he's just gone a little further than he would want for comfort. It means he's got to have to do a little bit more with the cue ball just to get on the 3, and this is where things go wrong, and that's exactly the point I'm making, just exactly what's happened there. And all that was down to was just the cue ball going about, what, 3 or 4 inches a bit further than he actually wanted it to. So he's dug himself out a hole with a jump. He's now left himself one of those little awkward cuts in the 4, but he'll be on the 5. So this is, as far as I'm concerned, this is rack ball, this one here. In it goes. And probably just more or less stop the cue ball there. Now what angle's he got? Well, that's a bit ugly as well. It's just a bit straight. It needs to keep running. He's okay. And Polo looks as if he's finding the pace a bit better now. Nine ball into the right middle, and that'll be, I think that's 3 racks in a row now for Polo. Gets himself back into the lead. Now Polo managed to get the stop in the cue ball there, but still getting no ball in the break. Albinario's got nothing here but a push shot. And this is a difficult one to judge what to do, because, you know, if he doesn't leave Polo a shot in the 2, he's simply going to be getting a shot handed back to him, and that's more likely what will happen here. Well, Polo's taking a risk. He's going to go for the kick, but probably just a soft roll. So right at the beginning of the rack, we've got a tactical battle going on. Well, he'll be happy with that one, Albinario. Polo can't see any edge of that 1 ball. Well, that's a brilliant shot. That is an excellent jump shot. And he's on the 2. Well, that's shot of the night so far. Is it going to run? Again, one of these troublesome cut shots in the 3. Cue ball's going to be coming back over for the 4 though. Needs to watch the in off though. Well, he hit that far too hard. And he got a nice kick off the 8. just stun off the side rail, back across for the 6 into the same pocket. That looks to be the shot. Oh, he's went round the corner, and he's judged the pace well. And he's just going to nudge into the 8 ball, and that'll hold him for the 7. And remember, that 9 ball isn't sitting on the head spot, it's sitting at the back of the rack. So this is all about judging pace again. Can either go down the left or down the right. He's got his choice, but doesn't want to overhit it. And that looks perfect. Well, I would say that Polo's settled in now. He's certainly controlling the pace a bit better. And Albinario is going to have to try and stem the tide here. That's 4 in a row for Polo. But we haven't really, I don't think we've seen a break and run yet, but again with that one, that's a dry break. Is that one going to squeeze past the 9? It looks very tight to me. He just had to cheat the pocket a bit and he's got it. And Albie's overcut it. But it's gone safe. Now is Polo going to try the bank onto the 4? What's it going to do? Or is he just going to thin edge it and bring the cue ball back over to the left rail? Yep. And he's played that well. Albinario, I think, snookered. Yep, can't see anything in that 3 ball. We can certainly kick it off this bottom rail here. And you can't kick it off the top end rail because the 6 ball's in the path of where the cue ball wants to be going. Well, he managed to catch the edge. Is he going to get lucky? No, he hasn't. Oh. Well, that's a let off for Albinario. Again, I don't think he was expecting to get back to the table. Now, how's his position for this 6 ball? Well, that's pretty well done because he didn't want to overhit that. He wanted to stay this side of the 9 and the 7, which he's done. But he's gone a little short, and again now he's colliding into the 9. But if he just cuts this in soft, he should still have the 8 ball into the middle. Well, it looks as if he's drawn it. No, he just played it soft. Go home and dry in this rack. Well, that'll be a relief for Albinario. He needs to get that gap narrowed down. And now he's got it back to just the 1 rack deficit. And we're into rack number 14. And I'm surprised Albinario's breaking from the middle. He should be breaking from beyond the left or the right diamonds there to try and get better stop in this cue ball. And he's playing that with top. And again the cue ball is spun off the rack and come back up the table or back down the table as we look. And he's getting no joy in the break. So when you're getting no joy in the break, you need to try something different. And this is why Albinario's behind. He's not worked out a decent break yet. Well, let's look at the 3. Well, he's got to play the combo. I don't think he can squeeze it. It's got to be really accurate. Unless he's going to play it off the side rail and onto the 8 and into the pocket. Because it does make it a big pocket. Well, he tried the combo. And that's gone wrong. Again, Albinario has a chance, but the problem again is judging the pace in this cue ball. And he certainly wants to come across to the right hand side as we look over somewhere beyond that right middle pocket. And he's got a perfect angle to do that. Well, again, he's playing it soft, but now he's got a problem. He's played it, he's leaving it at a distance. He's now cueing over the 8 ball. And this is difficult. And again, why he chose to play that shot, I don't know. He could have easily put a little bit of spin in that cue ball and brought it over towards the right middle and got onto the 4 ball properly. When you start leaving yourself at distance and cueing over balls, you're only asking for trouble. No, Polo's not played a great shot there. This is all your eggs in one basket with this shot in the 6. Danger of the in-off, so he's actually putting a lot of draw on it. And that can always send the cue ball offline. Well, he's controlled that great. Got the cut. And can just drop this 7 ball in. Dead weight. Doesn't want to let the cue ball run. Well, he's tried to run it, and again, you know, why not? If he was worried about the angle, he could have easily just drew the cue ball away from the 7 as he potted it, bounced off the bottom rail and drawn onto the side rail and back up with the 8. So we've seen a couple of wrong choice shots, and they've proved to be wrong because they've ended up getting themselves into trouble. But as it is, Albinario has got himself back on par. We're at 7 racks all. He breaks off in rack number 15 and he's still not getting any joy. And Polo is going to dig out the jump stick. He's going to have to pull out another good shot in this too. Cue ball's going to run into the 7. So he really needs a bit of luck here to go onto this 3 ball. And he's not got it. Has he? Oh, he's just sneaked past it. Just sneaked past the 5. Again, having to do things with the cue ball. That's why he missed the 3. And Albinario will be banking this. It's a good 50-50 bank shot this. If he doesn't get it first time, well, he didn't hit it with enough pace to get it to come across the second time. He's controlled it well. Now, does he run all the way through to get that 5 into the left middle, or is he going to leave a combo? Well, he's doing the right thing. Has he gone far enough though? Let's have a look. Well, again, he's got to play this with inside English in the cue ball. He's got to watch where it's going, and that's why he's underhit it. Always a danger of going in off into that right middle, and he didn't hit it with enough pace, but he should be okay. Here's the crucial one. Always a problem getting from the 7, sorry, the 8 back up for the 9, but he's played it well. Nice pace, and almost a straight in 9 ball. So Albinario, I wouldn't say exactly any of these players are on a roll, but Albinario is still determined to keep breaking from the middle, and this time he's got the balls working for him. In fact, the strange thing is he's potted the 1, the 2 and the 3 all off the break, and he's got a shot in the 4. He's overcut it. Oh, well, that was unexpected. And these pockets, they are unforgiving, and this is a toughie. Close to the rail with the cue ball, 4 ball deep in the corner, and that was a well played shot. Judged it well. Now, how does that 6 look? Well, it does drop into the middle pocket. You've got to get a nice position on it though to be able to play that comfortably. You can pot the 5 in and roll through a good sort of foot, and he'll have a good shot in the 6. Well, he should still get it, but he could have done with rolling another 2 or 3 inches. And this should be simple enough. As long as he gets the 7, he can just drop the 8 in, finishing the 9 into the top right. Alright, now you couldn't pick a winner because we haven't seen anybody dominating the break here and putting 2 or 3 racks together off the break. Lots of movement, and unlike the last rack, absolutely nothing going down again. Definitely needs to change his break. Move the cue ball somewhere else along that kitchen line. Try something different, because this one isn't really working. But he won't be that bothered. He's up 9-7, but you've got to keep working on the break. If something isn't happening, change it. Now this match has been going on since well, we've just come up to the 50-minute mark, and we're not halfway home yet. Again, Polo's got 2 choices what he does here. He can just pot the 7, come back off the rail and up like that, or he could have come round behind it for the 8 ball into the same pocket he potted the last ball. And Albinario's lead is down to 9 racks to 8. Polo breaking off in rack number 18, and he's going to get the same problem that Albinario's got. No ball in the break, but again, unfortunately for Polo, he's left the 1 ball as a shot. But what does Albi do about this too? Well, I think he was maybe trying to squeeze more out of that shot than was possible. He's chipped the 2 away. Okay, he didn't get on it, he didn't really leave a shot, but more importantly he's missed a 1. And this isn't easy either because there's too much traffic down there, but he's managed to clip off the, was it the 5 ball? Oh, is he right in the jaw? No, he's on the 2. And this should be perfect to drop down behind that 3 as long as he misses a 6. Well, it's gone wrong. And once you get yourself out of line, you're always then fighting to get control of the cue ball. And again now, Albinario has an opportunity to open up the gap again. Now, ideally what he wants to be straight in this so he can roll through and avoid hitting the 6. I think he's perfect. And now he's got a nice little angle in 5. Can just come up for this 6 into the left hand corner. And I don't think he'll be doing an awful lot with the cue ball here. He might just roll through off the end rail and back up and leave a mid-range 7 ball. Albinario now opens up the gap again. He's still got a long way to go, but he's leading by 10 racks to 8. And again, time and time again, no ball in the break. Let's look at it from Albie's cue. What does he see? Well, he's just looking for the edge, just to chip that 1 ball onto the end rail behind the 5. Well, it's gone behind the 2, and he's got 2 blockers in front, and that is a tough one to hit. And Polo's looking for the fancy swerve shot, but that was never on. I'll let us head down to this end to see what's happening here. Well, Albinario's not going to have any shot on, so he's just looking to try and hide the cue ball, I think. You try and play the 2 off the 5, 1 onto the 2 and 2 off the 5. Yep, excellent. That was a good shot. And now a little draw. He's going to play the 3 at distance, but he doesn't need to do anything with the cue ball. He just needs to, when he pots this 3, he doesn't want to come across behind the 6 or the 7. Let's see whether he stays north of it as we look. Well, that's what he's done. And now he's in good position. That cue ball can just come off the side rail, skirt over past the 9 ball, and he should be lying pretty good in the 5. Now this is a crucial shot. Got plenty of room behind the 9. Just off the side rail and out into the middle of the table. He's around the corner. And probably just a little stop shot. Maybe, I don't know what the angle's like, but I'd be just doing a stop shot. Yep. And whatever you do, don't leave yourself straight on the 8. He's got a nice high angle. So he's again going around the corner, off the end rail. Now he's drawn back. There was two ways to do it. The little drawback or around the corner. The drawback meant the cue ball was moving less. It was going in one direction rather than two separate directions. Well, now Albie's moved his cue ball away from the middle diamond and almost got the 9 ball in the break. Now this is a crucial 1 ball for Polo, because the odds are he's going to have a 2-9 combo any second if he gets this, and that looks pretty good. So this is going to be a short rack. So Albinario's 3-rack lead is now been cut back to 2. He still leads by 11 racks to 9, and we're now halfway to the match goal of 21. Now is Albinario going to draw into the 2? Well, that's not bad. He just nudged it in the right direction though. And again, it's just about controlling the pace. He's going to pot the 2 and the cue ball over to the left rail. Now, again, is he going to play the simple shot and leave a long 4? Because the 5's over the corner pocket. Or play the right shot and play the 4 into the middle. That's what he should have done, and that's what he's done. Now, again, looking at this shot, what would I do? I'd be just drawing back or following through, but going nowhere near that 8 and 9. Now it seems that Albinario's found his pace a bit more. This is a crucial shot. And that's well played. Perfect on the 8 ball. Looks like a little roll through. So the lead goes back to 3 racks. And now we're at, I would say, a fairly important part of this match, because Albinario is edging closer to that match goal of 21, and Polo doesn't want this gap to grow any bigger. Albinario, couple of balls in the break there. Has he got a shot in the 1? No, he hasn't. He's going to have to jump it, and no real idea where the cue ball's going. Well, that's a great shot. Couldn't have asked for much better than that to get enough power off that end rail to get the cue ball up onto the 2. Again, it's going to be a little draw up past the middle pocket if he can, and just get that cue ball off the rail a bit. And now he's in a position where he's got 2 choices. Again, he can follow through and come up for the 6 ball into the left middle, or he can leave the cue ball up at that end. And this isn't an ideal shot. This is making life, excuse me, I've got the hiccups now, but it's making life a little bit more difficult for himself. This isn't a dead cert. He's played it well, controlled it well, sitting perfect in the 8 ball. Albinario has now stretched his lead, and the lead goes to 4 racks, and the alarm bell should be ringing for Polo. This is looking like a very crucial stage of the match, but Albinario's come up dry, and now Polo doesn't want to get into the situation where he's taken on high risk shots. I mean, that shot there was a difficult cut, and now he's made his mind up, he's going to have to go for the run out. It's all or nothing, and of course he's overcut the 2 ball, and this is going to hurt if Albinario manages to get good on that 3 and clears up. Has he got a shot? Yes, he has. Now, that missing a 2 could prove to be very costly for Polo. And now we've got a problem. Is he just going to try and roll through and come up past that 9 and leave the 6 down the rail into this bottom left as we look? Because that'd be ideal for the 7 ball. And as it is now, he's going to have to come across for the 7, I think. I don't know whether he can hold it on this left hand side of the table. It needs to keep going, and that's perfect. Perfect again, because he's got that little angle, and that's going to get him back up for the 8. Out into the middle of the table, somewhere up by the middle spot, in between those 2 pockets would be perfect. Well, that's under hit slightly, but no great problem. I think he's checked a cue ball up there just to straighten it up, and now Albi's just rolling in the 9 for a 14 racks to 9 lead. And something's got to give here for Polo to get himself back into this match. The rescue has to start now, and in goes the 3 ball, and Albinario looks as if he's going to play the bank here and try and use that 5 ball maybe. I don't know whether he can make the cut. Can he make the cut? My eyes must be getting bad. Yes, he can, but he's overcut it. Now here's exactly the situation where Polo really has to capitalise on that mistake. There's just no other options available for him. Now he's going to have to come behind the 7 ball and back out and up for that 4 into the same pocket as the 2. And this rack, if Polo manages to see it through, it might just be enough to get the momentum going for him. Oh, that needs to bounce. How does that look? Well, he's still okay. So Polo goes to double figures. The scoreboard looks a lot better to him now than it did a minute ago, but he's still trailing by 4 racks, and again had no joy in the break. just cannot buy a ball in the break. He needs to run a rack or two to get himself into this match. It just isn't happening. Well, can Albinario squeeze this 2-ball in? I think he can. I think he can just nudge it to the far jaw and it will go in. He's just putting a little bit of inside on it just to try and squeeze past the 4. And he's played it well, and he did it exactly as was required. But the problem there is the inside English has spun the cue ball off the rail and beyond the 3-ball. Now that can still cut in, but it's a tough shot. The cue ball's going to be running all over the place if he does. Much easier shot to try and cut it into the middle. He's played that well. And this is going to hurt Polo. And the crucial shot is going to be that 6 to the 7. And surely Albinario is not going to try and smash into these two to move them about and sacrifice position in the 6. Surely not. It's a big risk to take. I wouldn't be doing anything like that, and he's done the right thing. Now let's have a look from his end, because this is the crucial shot here, and it's not a perfect angle. He's going to have to force it. Well, I think he's got the cut. That cue ball has got to move. He's got to go over to the left hand side, obviously, this 8-ball. And again, what you always need, that angle. So it's all about judging the pace to get onto the 9. That's not bad. So Polo breaks off, comes up dry, and Albinario manages to run the rack out. And the lead goes back to 5 racks. And Albi's edging further towards that finishing line. So there's the difference. Albinario breaks off, comes up dry, and leaves nothing for Polo. And he's not even going to jump that, I don't think. He's going to have to kick it off the end rail. Well, he's not even doing that. He's just going to play the push. Try and drop it onto the bottom rail. And Albinario can get distance here. He can just cut the one onto the side rail and come back, bring it back onto the bottom rail and get the cue ball up the table. But I wonder what he's looking at. He could cut the one up towards the 7 as well, because the 7 and the 6 are blocking, but he's decided against it and passed it back to Polo. Now, what's he going to do? And that needs to hit something, and that's okay. Left it the 1 ball a little short. Now is Albi going to jump that? Looks like it. And this is going to be some kind of shot if he gets this cue ball up onto that 2 ball, if he cuts the 1 in. Well, he's got it. Is it going to miss the 9? Oh, let's have a look. No, he's going to have to do the same again, I think. Well, this time, again, he doesn't get the 2. Got the hit, but he's left the 2 on this time. And unfortunately for Polo, that 7 ball, where's the cue ball going? Oh, the 7 ball's tied the 4 up. And he's also got himself hooked in a 3. So everything's just becoming a little bit disjointed for Polo. Needs that little run of the ball, and he needs it now. Now, what's Albinario going to try here? And you put a lot of top and left. It looks as if he's putting a lot of draw. Well, he's made up his mind what he's doing here. He's just going to drop that cue ball. He's going to try and squeeze the 4 behind the 7. It looks a bit tight. Well, he's got it. And I think that 9 ball's in the way of the kick shot. Let's have a look. Oh no, I think he just managed it. How's his luck? He'll be happy with that. Again, he can bank the 4 over by the 7, get the cue ball up the table. Well, he's taking the bank into the middle and he's not got it. Has he got lucky again? Well, once again, Albinario is out with the jump stick, I think. And this time he doesn't have to worry about the cue ball. He just needs to concentrate on trying to jump and sink this 5, because the 6 ball is on, no problem. Well, I think he might have spun that and got it all wrong. But the cut is on for Polo, and he's going to be really unlucky if that cue ball goes over and hits the 8 and blocks himself in the 6 with the 9 ball. Well, that's not going to happen because he's played it dead weight. And that's under hit again. And the cue ball is going to have to come across the table here. Off the side rail on the right, over to the left and back over to the right, I think. And I think he's got reasonable enough pace on it. Can he get it? Yes, he can. He'll just be able to drop the 9 in, and Albinario takes his lead to 6 racks now. He leads by 16 racks to 10. He's only 5 away from round 3. And still doing the same break again, and still getting more or less the same result. And just Polo's luck, he's got no shot in the 1. And he slams in the 1 ball with that jump shot. And this is, he's just got to go all out. Lots of other people would have probably played a push out, but when you commit yourself to do that, you've just got to go for the run out. Now, how's he going to get on the 4? And more to the point, where's the 4 ball going? Is it going anywhere? It's not getting in past the 7. It's not. It might go past the 5. It needed to run out a bit more, that cue ball, and this is tough. And that's a great shot. Now again, he's got to avoid the traffic here. Nudges the 7, but he's okay. But once again, he's got to force this 6 ball in. He needs to get that cue ball out. And he tried to do it with spin, and the spin has sent the 6 ball offline. And Albinario is back at the table, and he's only got 4 balls to run out. And this match is now running away from Polo. Just a simple roll in. And Albinario's now sitting 17 racks to 10 in front. Still breaking the same way. And Polo now, all he's left with's a 1 ball 8 combo, but he's looking to just come off the edge of the 1. That's banking towards that corner pocket, and no joy. And it looked a bit of a desperate shot. Maybe he tried to bank it off the side rail and onto the end rail by the 6, but if he did, he underhit it. Or maybe he did go for the cross bank there. And Albinario has left here with a 2 ball that goes past the 9. Is he going to play the combo? Yes, he did. Oh, and that's going to be torture for Polo. 2 ball runs around the corner. Where does it end up? Right behind the 3. You can see an edge of it. Oh, and that's a poor one again. I think Polo is not losing the plot, but he's just not thinking about exactly what he's doing there with the safety. Well, Albinario's done himself a favour there, that little kiss. He's pushed the 5 onto the rail, but he's managed to nudge the 9 ball away from it. And that's going to make it a bit easier for him. Don't tell me he's hooked himself behind the 9. He has? Oh God, I thought he could see the 4. Well, that's a surprise. But once again, Polo's going to have to dig himself out a hole here. Just roll that 4 into the middle, get the cue ball right through. And this is it's almost at the point of no return here. He's got to get this rack sewn up, and this is a problem straight away. Lots of power to get this cue ball moving. It needs to keep going. and that's a perfect angle on the 7. He can stun across or he can roll through. He has his choice. And just a roll in the 8. Nothing heroic. Well, this is one that I'm sure Polo didn't expect he was going to get. But he's done all that was asked of him. He had to run the rack. Well, both of these guys seem determined just to break off that centre spot on the kitchen line. And they've not really been, well, they've had, you know, 2 or 3 breaks where the balls went in, but they've had a lot more dry breaks than they've had ones with balls going in the break. What does that tell you? Try something different. Well, it looks as if it's going to be a 4-5 combo. That's the simplest option. Just leave the 4 ball where the 5 is. Now Albinario has got to play this surely with inside English to check the cue ball over to the right hand side for this 7. Or is he going to go round the corner and do it? I think he's going round the corner. He's under hit it. He's left it way short. Had a big margin of error there. He needed to run another 1.5 feet. So now he's going to play the bank. Or is he going to play the cut? Needs to watch he doesn't scratch here. I think he's going to hit the 9 ball. Now he's relying on luck. 30-second shot clock's gone. He's now on his 15-second extension. He gets the cut on the 7. And now he's got a difficult cut on the 8. Well, he's looked at the angle twice now. Shot clock's running out. He's lost his extension and he's undercut the 8, but it's gone pretty safe. And Polo's got the shot into the top left, and the cue ball's going to come back up to this end of the table for the 9. And in it goes. That cue ball needs to keep running. And this is awkward. Got to get it though, and in it goes. So Polo has somehow managed to get 2 racks in a row, and this time the break has worked, and he's got a shot on the 2. And the crucial shot is right now. He's got to work away onto this 3 ball. He could go right up and down the table here, up beyond the 4 at our end, and then up towards the 9 for the 3 into the left middle. Or he could play it with inside English to check the cue ball back up towards the 3, and that's what he's done. And that looks perfect. That's a good shot. a little soft drop for the 4. And now again he's got a problem. Needs to get that cue ball back up. And I think he's played that pretty well. Well, this is going to be a break and run out. And it couldn't have came at a better time for Polo. The only problem is he needs another 2 or 3 of them right now to try and get himself back into this match. He doesn't have many more racks to play with. Gets another ball in the break. 7 ball gets out the way. He's sitting in the 1. Now the 7 ball's finished in the rail, but that's not going to be a major issue. He's got plenty of room to get the cue ball in there to make the cut on the 7. His problems right now, I think he's sitting with a good angle in the 2, but he's still going to have to spin this cue ball, I think. And he needs to try and get that cue ball over by the 4. Playing it with a little bit of left English, needs to spin across over and hit the 4 ideally would be perfect, and that's excellent. So now he's in control, but the crucial shots from that 6 to the 7. And he's got to run this rack. Got to do it. Plenty of room, cue ball over towards that middle pocket. Needs to slow down, don't want to go too far. He's still okay, but got to watch the crossover scratch here. And again, he's controlled that well. Whatever you do, don't go for heroics, just roll the 8 ball in, get it lined up. And same with this one. Just roll it in. Well, chose to stun it in, and that's always risky. Now, has he got any luck this time? Yes, he has. 8 balls going in. What else is going in? Just the 8 ball. Now that 1 is very tight, so he's going to cut it long. And controlled it well. And he's probably going to have to try and leave a 3-6 combo unless he tries something spectacular. He's got a cut back in this too. And that's well played. Is it bouncing? Well, this is a blind combo. Is it worth taking the risk? Yeah, I think he's done the right thing there. Don't play any rash shots at this stage. He's on the brink of getting himself back into this match. And we've been going for 90 minutes now. Did Albie hit that? I think he just caught an edge. That was excellent. And now Polo's in trouble. I don't think that angle's there. He's going to have to check. He's going to have to play that with inside English, and he's got a little bit on it to try and straighten the shot. Has he got the kick? No! Oh, what he would have given for to knock that in, but all he was left with was a jump shot in the 4. And that could have been a whole different story had he kicked that 3 in. Albie plays a draw. And again, he's sitting nigh perfect on this 4. Albie's just got to be careful here. He doesn't want to draw into that left middle. And he try and stun it off the rail, and he might hit the traffic here. Needs to be careful. Well, that's what he's done. Straight into the 7, and now he's got a choice. He can go for the bank or he can go for the cut. He gets the cut clean. Is the cue ball bouncing? Yes, it is. Got a little cut back, but he should be on the 7. Oh, where's the cue ball going now? Is it making it? Yeah. Well, we've had a bit of a late rally by Polo there, but the sequence has been broken. Albinario tidies up, and now he's only 3 racks away from victory. Nothing's gone in, I don't think, but there's a 1-8 combo sitting there for Polo, but the 4 and the 6 are tied up. Is that 4 and 6 set as a combo? No. Well, what does he do here? Does he try and smash these balls apart and just hope he gets on the 2? Or does he try and leave that for later? Well, he's taking the risk, and he didn't smash them, he just nudged them, and he still held on the 2. And this isn't easy. I don't like the angle in that 2. But he's got it. Now this is a similar shot Albie had. He needs to watch these balls in the middle of the table here and try and avoid them. And he doesn't want to run too far and hook himself behind the 9. He needs to nudge that 9. That's pretty good. Use the 9 as a stopper. I think he's undercooked that one. I think he wanted to come further down towards us, and now he's got no choice. He's going to have to run this cue ball off this side rail, end rail, right side rail, and over to the left side rail again. 1, 2, and it needs to keep going. That's a wee bit short of pace. It needs to keep running. I think the 6 ball's off the rail, so that makes the shot a bit easier. But he's cut it away from the rail, and he's left to cut on for Albie. And Albinario's going to use this 9 ball, just drop the 6 in, not going to hit it too hard, because that 9 ball will stop the cue ball and send it back over to the right, I would think. Yeah, oh, but Albie's missed it, and now I think that still cuts. Or is he going to play the bank? Oh, he's got it. Now, is Polo going to try something different on the break? I don't think Albie has all night. In goes the 9, and Polo is still trailing Albinario by 18 racks to 15. He gets a ball in the break. Is he going to get any shot in this 1 ball? Well, yes, he has. And this couldn't be happening at a better time for Polo. Now that 8 ball is a problem because of where exactly it's sitting. It's not obviously going to pass the 9, and the cue ball has got to be more or less on that side rail to make that 8 cuttable, because there's not a big margin of error off that rail. And what the hell's Polo done here? Oh, that's a disaster. He's missed the kick, and this is a gift for Albinario. But Albinario is the one that's going to have to work the cue ball to get into that 8 unless he moves it sooner. That 8 ball is going to decide this rack. And once again, Albinario has a choice. He can play for the 7, or he can try and nudge the 8, but then he's just living in hope to get on the 7. And if he doesn't get in a good angle in the 7, he's going to have a problem getting on the 8. Well, he's now got a perfect angle just to cut this 7 in off the left side rail by the middle pocket and back over to the right between the 8 and the 9. And that's exactly where he wanted to be. That's perfect. So Albinario is holding Polo off, and he's now sitting leading by 19 racks to 15. Just needing another 2 racks. He's still breaking for more or less the same position. Well, a couple of balls have gone in this time, and he's got a shot in the one into the middle. It's not easy. Let's have a look at the angle. Yeah, that's a toughie, and it's tough as well to go on the 2. Can you play the bank? No, he's playing the cut. In it goes. He's leaving himself the long 2. Well, 2 shots here to get from the 3 to the 5. That looks good. But is it a bit straight? No, he's perfect. You can just drop the cue ball off the side rail and across. Left plenty of angle here just to drop off the end rail and up for the 7. And again, a simple little pace shot just off the end rail and up to the left, I would think. A little bit inside English. Yep, just to check the cue ball. And Albinario drops the 9 ball in, and he's now sitting on the hill, leading by 20 racks to 15 with the break in rack number 36. And this time he's came up dry, and once again though he's left absolutely nothing for Polo. He's just got to kick here and hope he nudges the 1 ball and tucks the cue ball away. Doesn't want to hit this hard. And he's played that. Well, that's unfortunate. I mean, the only time you don't want to pot a ball with a kick shot is when you're trying to tuck your opponent behind that little bunch of balls. And now he's going to have to kick himself out of trouble. And he's left the 2 on. And let's have a look at that shot. Well, Albinario is going to be hard pushed to make anything out of that 3 unless he just rolls through. He's looking for a kiss onto the 7. And he's going to have to do a bit of nudging here. Something's got to give for him to be able to run this rack, and I don't think he's convinced he can actually hit the right ball. I think that's what's just troubling him. Yeah. Now, can he see the cutting angle in that 3? No, he can't, so he's just going to play the safe. Is he going to try and tuck the cue ball behind the 8? What's he going to do? Your guess is as good as mine. Well, he's tucked it behind the 7 instead, and that's tight. So one thing's for sure, Polo ain't going to be jumping it. So he's just going to try and kick it off the nearest available rail, and he's missed it. And that could be Polo's last shot in this match. Albie's still got a bit of work to do. He's got to get from the... Well, this is a surprise if he's just playing a 3-4 combo. No, I was thinking that was a bit crazy. So just a little roll in on the 3. And he needs to have a decent angle in this 4 to get up for the 5. Now, what's he got? Well, that's perfect. Perfect angle. Drop the 5 in, off the end rail, side rail, and up for the 6 in the left middle. Maybe a little follow through or a stopper. Well, the only thing that Polo's got left is Albinario trying to get from the 8 onto the 9. But no problem. Little soft draw, and Albinario is going to seal the deal with this 9 ball. And Albinario wins the match by 21 racks to 15. And he marches on into the 3rd round, and Polo, well, his progress is going to have to be done in the dark and dank depths of the one-loss side for the rest of this tournament.